Okay, today we're going to take a look at a great new Linux distribution called Solus. This is Solus 3. It's a really great distribution. Start off with, go to solus-project.com. You get to this page, you can either click download here or here. And then you have your choice of desktop. You can either get the GNOME desktop, the Mate desktop, or what I downloaded, the Budgie Desktop. You just click on here and you'll download it, or click here to get a torrent and then download it with using a BitTorrent client. I've already downloaded it. We're going to install it on VirtualBox. It is probably one of the quickest installs that I've done in quite a while. It'll boot up to a live desktop. Take a minute or two. We'll just wait for it to go through its boot process. Okay, and we're now booted into the live desktop. I had to pause it there for a second because I had lost the image, but it took maybe a minute or so to boot up. Really not that long. Once you're at the desktop, you can see it's a nice, simple, clean desktop, very similar to Windows, with your taskbar on the bottom, with your system tray on the right. But we'll just do the install and we'll look through the desktop once it's installed. Just double click on the install OS. It'll start up the installer. This obviously is a bit quicker on a physical machine. This is on VirtualBox, so it'll be a little bit slower. We'll click next once you've selected your language. Location, you can either find my location automatically or just choose your keyboard layout. English US is good. And click on the area where you are. Toronto is good. Okay, install a fresh copy. Replace. Right there, that'll be the best. If you have Windows, of course, you can click here and it'll say install a fresh copy of Solus alongside your existing operating system. It'll shrink your Windows partition down and then you'll be able to dual boot. But this is on my VirtualBox. I just want to have just this on this one. I'll click next again. Install a bootloader on this hard disk. Yes, type in a host name. I'll just call it Solus. Username. This probably all has to be lowercase. Real name. And put in a password. Do it twice to make sure you didn't make any errors. You have the 2 check marks, everything's good. Click on add now. That'll add the user, which is right there. Click on next. Gives you an overview of all your selections, and once you're satisfied that everything is okay, you'll click on install. Okay, installation will make changes to your disk. Want to make sure? Yes, click OK. Now this, I was quite surprised when I installed it on my physical machine. It took, well, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. It was an incredibly fast install, probably one of the fastest installs that I've done. And we're back. You can see about 5 minutes has gone by. We're nearing the end of the install. So it's actually a very quick install. On a physical machine, I think it took even less time than this. Finalizing. Removing the live configuration. You can see down here 6 minutes has gone by. Doing the bootloader. Make sure we're able to boot into it. This should take only a few more seconds. And there we go. You just click on restart, we would reboot into it. But I'm going to shut this down and I'm going to boot into my to the Solus that I have on my physical machine, and we'll take this back up. Back in a second. Okay, so here we are booted into the Budgie Desktop for the Solus distribution. Solus is it's not a Linux distribution which is based on another like Ubuntu or Debian or Arch or anything like that. This is a distribution built from scratch. So you'll find there's probably not quite as much as many different applications that are available for it, but almost all of the most common ones are readily available. We'll get to the Software Center in a second, which have a shortcut down here. But this is their Budgie Desktop. This is they're the ones who developed this desktop. It's been adopted by quite a few other distributions since then, but this is like their flagship. Came up with the brisk menu on the left here, which have all your categories. You have a search function up top. Go through all the different applications that are pre-installed. Give you a quick look. System tools, so you have access to your settings. They have your Budgie Desktop settings, and you have your, where was I? System settings. So it's divided into two. Most of the different system things that you would want to configure would be here: users, date and time, power management, hardware, things like that. And for the Budgie settings, for the Budgie Desktop, it would all be here. I have style on the left here, which has your widgets. You can have your different type, icons, cursors, desktop. You can have desktop icons. You can have your home directory show up. Different things here. Different fonts you can use. Windows, button layout. Have their buttons here on the right, or you can have them on the left. There they go on the left. I prefer it on the right. Different things. Bottom panel. This is for the panel down here. All the different, this is all the applets that are on it. Settings, position, bottom. You can have it bottom, top, left, right. We'll leave it on the bottom. Different things you can change here. You can create a new panel and just put one up top, and there's to get rid of it. Remove the panel. There we go. All your auto start applications, if you want something to start automatically when you boot into it, you would add it here, clicking the plus, and then just choose the application you want, or a script or whatnot. So that's how you get around your different settings. So on the right here you have your, I think it's called the Raven sidebar. You click on it, you have access to log in or log out, lock the screen, get to your Budgie settings here, and then you have access to your volume, different audio outputs and inputs, calendar, different applets. If you have notifications, they would be here. I don't have any, so that's blank. Open your calendar, time and date settings, preferences. You can see it's a really really nice little desktop. Notifications would be here. There's for your network connections, Ethernet, wireless, and their brisk menu. We'll go to the Software Center. Like I said earlier, there's probably not as many applications available as you would find in some of the bigger distributions, but I think they've also included snap packages, so that'll open up a lot more applications you can download. But in any case, almost everything that you would really need, desktop software, is all here for your different desktops. Gaming, most of the main games that come with most Linux distributions, you can install Steam, action games, arcade games, so there's still tons of stuff available. It's mostly some of the more obscure applications that are probably not available yet. But they're still working on that, and this is a distribution which is growing and growing. Even the last, I can't remember which version it was that I tried, but not that long ago, a couple of versions back, I thought it was an interesting project, but it seems to have really matured quite a bit. There's especially with this Solus 3. Yeah, I think it's a really mature project. A lot more applications included and available. Their menu is excellent. I really easy to find, stays out of your way. Solus 3, highly recommended for a new Linux user, or even someone who's more advanced user who just wants to use the computer, work on the computer, and doesn't really want to tinker around with too many things. This is an excellent choice. I highly recommend it. So that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching.